Hi everyone, in this video we're going to talk about how I survived the pandemic as a videographer. So in 2019, I anticipated 2020 to be a very big year. Um, so in January 2020 came around and it was very busy. Usually January's slow for me. So not a lot of bookings in January, but 2020 I had a lot of bookings, a lot of corporate stuff. Okay, so not a lot of weddings in January. Nobody really want to get married much in the cold. So January went along very well, and then I got to February, everything was great, lots of bookings and all that. March came, and early March things were good. Then mid March we're hearing about the COVID and all that, and then about late March everything got shut down. And it was tough for just about everyone in the service industry, DJs, photographers, and videographers like myself. All gigs were canceled, and it was like I was at home. I was like, wow, what am I gonna do? So my wife was actually working from home, and she was using Zoom and all that to work. And I decided, I'm like, live streaming is gonna be a big thing. So I was familiar with live streaming, but I've never actually did it professionally. So I was like, this is something I need to learn ASAP. So I went on YouTube. I watched a ton of videos. I read number of articles, and I decided to buy some equipment. But I didn't want to use money in my bank account, since there was a lot of uncertainty around the pandemic. I decided to sell some equipment in order to buy the live stream equipment. So I had the Sony FS7, which was my main camera I use for corporate gigs, and I decided to sell that and take the money and buy live stream equipment. So I got it sold, and I bought a video mixer, the A10 Mini Pro, and I also bought the live use. No, I bought the Teradek Video Go. But the Teradek Video Go did not work out well at all. I used it for a couple of gigs, and it was shutting off on me for no reason. Not shutting off, but stopping the live stream. So I decided to go with Live View Solo. So I sold the Teradek. I lost about $600 in the process, and I bought the Live View Solo, and that has worked pretty well for me since I bought it. So I bought the gear, and this was in April. Bought the gear around in April, and I was testing everything out in April and March. In March I was, getting myself familiar, learning everything about the gear, testing it out at home and all that. And I decided, once I knew enough, I called some of my clients and I told them, hey, I'm doing live streaming now. And I got a response, some of them telling me that they need someone to live stream. I said, great. So I started doing events, weddings actually, in, I think it was mid-June, but early June I was actually doing funerals. So my mom's friend's son died, and that's the first live stream gig that I actually did. So I did that gig, it went okay, and I decided to, do some more stuff. So I did some more funerals. And then mid-June, I started doing weddings, actually Jewish weddings. So since then, I have been doing live streaming from June 2020 up until now. So right now, we are in July 2020 and 2021. My computer is saying 2022 for some reason. July 2021. And live streaming has slowed down a lot, so I'm not getting a lot of calls for live streaming. I am still doing it. I am still getting some calls, but just not as busy as it was. So most people are actually attending events right now. So weddings, there's 100 people, 400 or 500 people in weddings right now. So that's why they don't need someone to live stream, right? But because I choose to learn a new skill, it made me valuable to companies, to event companies. Having someone like me who could live stream was a big asset, because just imagine you're a company and someone comes to you They want you to shoot a wedding for them, but they also want live streaming. And if you're a company and you don't know, you don't have any guys who could live stream, you only got videographers, you don't know how to do it yourself, you're at a big disadvantage. Okay? So if you have somebody like me on staff, you're at a huge advantage. And that's what happened. I was a big asset to the companies that I work for, because not only did I do live streaming, I did it well. So I did multiple cameras and all that. And I'm going to show you some pictures of some of my setups in a little bit. And so that helped me a lot to stay employed, and it helped the companies I work for to get more jobs and to earn more cash, because now even if they were booked for video, now they get booked for video and live streaming. So let's take a look at some pictures. So this is me. Let's get here. This is me at actually the last corporate event that I did. This was late March in 2020. Late March in 2020, I was hired to do a corporate gig, a mixer with keynote speaker and a roundtable discussion. So I'm shooting here with the Sony FS7. The client is standing next to me, and the person she's interviewing, he's part of the event. So before everyone came in, they wanted to do interviews with certain members of the group. And this is what we're doing here. So let's get to the next photo. This is a close-up shot of my camera, Sony FS7. I have a monitor on the side there, and the client is next to me, and this is another person that we're interviewing. And this is just an actual shot of the panel discussion, and I just took a picture of it, and this is it. And back then, they were aware of COVID. So as you can see, some people are sitting one chair in between, one chair away from. People that didn't know each other were sitting one chair away from each other. As we know now, that definitely wasn't enough. You needed to be much further away. So I'm sure people at this event probably caught the virus, just from attending this event, because this was very late March. And next one, this is another corporate event I did in early 2020. And back to this. So let me to look at, this is actually a funeral. And you can see my camera is in the middle. On top is a live view solo. On the right is a monitor with a dual camera. So I have two cameras, the one that you're looking at here, and then I have one in the front of the church capturing the priest and all that. And on the left side, you can see there's a video switcher and a wireless transmitter. Right, let me show you this shot here. This is a wedding. This is a band, a Jewish wedding, and as you can see, it's Mazel Tov at the bottom. And let's see. Let's go to the next one. This is a guy singing on stage at another Jewish wedding. As you can see, we have a Sony video transmitter, which is an excellent video transmitter, by the way. Sony A7 III, and I have a light on the camera there. This is on a 3-axis gimbal, which is on a monopod. And this is another clip. This is actually the Hollywood Mars Pro on top of my camera, which is on a tripod. And I was capturing this guy's about to sing. And this shot is a close-up of the gear. We have a monitor on the right, and we have the live view on the top. On the left, we have the wireless transmitter from a Soon, and we have my camera at the bottom. And this shot is of a wedding, a Jewish wedding I did. This was done on Wednesday, March 17 in 2021. And this is what people who log on to live stream actually see. So this is just a still shot, but it's obviously it's a video. So you see the person's name on top. I did that in Photoshop, and I embedded it into the video. and I put Mazel Tov at the bottom because that's congratulations from the Jewish. And we have, in the Jewish tradition, we have the bride in one place and the groom is in another room. So I have a video of the groom, which is on a wireless transmitter, right? Him. And on the tripod, I have it up high in the air, and I'm getting a shot of the bride being greeted by her friends and her family. So this shot is what people really love. They love seeing the dual shot, because most people who do live stream, typically they would do one camera. Now this is just me by myself, so I shoot this by myself, but they would typically just have one camera, and this is what made me stand out. I decided I wanted to do two cameras, and especially for Jewish events where they're in separate places, if I was to do just one camera, then I would only be getting one thing or the other. But because I have two cameras, the audience is able to see both things happening simultaneously. So this is what really people love to see, and which is why my clients, they love to hire me for live streams, because they know I'm going to go above and beyond to get something like this. And that was the last image. Let me show you some pictures of my gear. All right. That's true. So this is actually the actual gear that I use to shoot these weddings and events. On the right side, I have a monopod that's on a 3-axis gimbal. 3-axis gimbal is on the monopod, excuse me. And you see a light, you see a HDMI cord connecting to the camera, and I have a wireless transmitter soon. On the left-hand side with the red batteries, you can see I have a tripod on wheels, and I have a video switcher, and then I have the camera, wireless transmitters, and all that. So that's the setup, and that take me about 2.5 to 3 hours to set up all of this. It takes a while. Let's see here. Next image is a close-up of the 3-axis gimbal. So this is an A7 III, the light on the right side, on the left side the wireless transmitter from Hollyland Mars, and you can see it's a battery pack. Bottom of the screen is a battery pack that powers the Hollyland Mars, which needs 12 volts, and this battery also powers the light and the gimbal. Next up, this was at a wedding in Brooklyn. You can see the Live View Solo streaming to YouTube on the right, and on the left you can see the Hollyland Mars Pro. This was actually in Brooklyn for a Jewish wedding, and this one they wanted Zoom instead of YouTube. So I had to set up a computer. On the right hand side you see the picture with me in it. I shouldn't have been in the picture, I should have been to the side, but anyway, picture with me in it, that's for the client to see themselves. And the monitor, that's the monitor on the right. The monitor on the left is where the clients see the remote guests, and there's a camera right on top of that monitor. That's a 24-inch monitor, and the Live View Solo is actually somewhere in the back of the computer. It's somewhere around there. And then I have a microphone, and this microphone I picked specifically because I wanted to solve a problem, right? When you're doing live streaming, you see a lot of people wear headphones, and the reason they wear headphones is because they don't want the mics to feed back into the if the sound is coming out the speaker of the computer, it feeds back into the microphone, and it causes that sound that everybody hates. So I didn't want to carry headphones for the bride and groom to put on, or anyone to put on, because they have makeup and hair and all that. It's not practical. So I decided I wanted to have a speaker where everyone could hear. I wanted to have a microphone where everyone could speak into. So the microphone there is a supercardioid microphone, so it rejects sound all around it, and that allowed me to have the speaker in the room where everyone could hear the sound, and it didn't feed back into the mic. So it was a perfect setup. The client loved it, and that worked out pretty well. Next image, this is a more recent image. So this is a friend of mine, Haji. he's the one to hire me. He's my client to live stream this gig. This gig is his client is actually New York Presbyterian, so they hire him to run a live stream, and he has guys on cameras, 3 guys, and then he hired me to do the live streaming and the live switching. So this is me here in downtown Brooklyn, New York Presbyterian, setting up, already set up. The band is not there yet. It's a quartet, kind of a jazz thing. And actually at this event, the Hollyland Mars did not work at all. So I was testing it in the beginning. They would not connect for nothing. And the problem was interference in the area. The Hollyland Mars just couldn't handle it. But a Soon wireless transmitter worked like a gem. So I had no problems with the Soon. So what we had to do is, because we were shooting with 1, 2, 3 cameras, we had to put one wireless on the Soon, and the other 3 we had to wire them up. It's a good thing I had some long HDMI cables with me. I always bring it as a backup, and it worked out really well for me. I didn't have to run to the car. I had it on me, and we hooked it up, and everything worked, and the show went on, and it was great. So the gear here is my laptop. This is actually a gaming laptop I've been using for a number of years, and it's really powerful. It works really well. And on the left, you see a 13-inch monitor, and that's for that's the multi-view. And close to me, you would see the AV Matrix video switcher. And that's it. That gig went off good, and that's it for that. And that's it. So I just wanted to make a last point and say that it's good to learn new things. It's good to have a new skill. If you're a photographer, you know how to shoot video, that's an asset to you. And if you're a videographer, you know photography, or you know live streaming or whatever, that is only an asset to you, meaning you're more marketable. People will want you more on the set because you have an additional skill more than the other videographer. So you have, if a company has videographers on their roster, they know, you're a little bit more special because you have more skills than the average. So it's good. You'll get more work and all of that, and it's good to learn. I love to learn. I'm always learning something new, and I'm always trying to think ahead of what am I going to do next. That's my mentality. So I hope you get a good takeaway from this video. I hope you learned something. And if you have any questions, just leave it down in the comments. And don't forget to join us on Facebook. And join the Facebook group. I'll leave a link in the description. And because on Facebook we go live, I go live at events, just to give you a kind of behind the scenes kind of look. And I guess that's it for this video. I would see you in the next one. Thank you.